Welcome to Tales from the Streets. Here's what our narrator has to say. It's true I'm expecting a baby, and the father is my son's friend. But you've already judged me. The reason you have judged me, even before hearing my full story, is because I am a woman. If I were a man, people wouldn't be carrying all kinds of rumors. It is true that I am pregnant, and true that the person who owns it is my son's friend. But to be honest with me, if I were a man, would you come and ask me questions? Would you be looking confused, even disgusted at me? I'm not proud of what has happened, but hey, here we are. How did this happen? What else do you think? When my husband left me, I remained a single mother for years because of my children. I didn't have any relationship with any man. I worked hard and raised my children, all three of them. After my last born went to the university, almost 2 years ago, his elder siblings began to chip in for his tuition. That's when I decided to give myself a break. I went with some of my old friends for a vacation. We had been planning it for years, and I had been wanting to just travel. And since we were going in a group, we got a good discount. We went to Marrakesh in Morocco. When you are with your school friends, you become young again. So I became a girl again. Being with my girlfriends opened my eyes again. It helped me see the life that I had deliberately left out because I was raising my children. I felt alive again, like a girl. In short, you know that movie, How Stella Got Her Groove Back? The one acted by Angela Bassett, that American babe? Yeah, that was me. There in Marrakesh, I met this young guy in his 30s, and he made me feel like a schoolgirl again. He sat beside me at the hotel's restaurant, teased me and my friends. He said he knew we were Naija babes. I was like, babeske, these are grannies, oh. But he complimented all of us and paid special attention to me. He told me the fun places to visit because apparently he'd been visiting Morocco for many years. My friends began to call him my boyfriend. So I ran into my boyfriend at the perfume market, and he helped me choose perfumes to buy. That's when he complimented my skin, my hair. The silly boy was generally very, cool. I asked him what he was doing in Morocco. He said he followed some friends from work for a birthday bash of one of them. So these young people just decide, let's go to Morocco for a party. And they just go, just like that. They're not paying huge rents or school fees, so they can travel anywhere they like. Just like that, too. So, of course, we exchanged phone numbers, and he left Morocco days ahead of me. We spent 10 days there, my friends and I, while he and his friends just left like after 3 days. The thing these children do. Why would I spend so much money booking tickets and a hotel and leaving just after 3 days? Me, I will max it to the cost of all the things that I pay for. I maxed it to the T. We stayed there for 10 days, full. Anyway, back in Niger, he called me. I didn't make the first move. He did. He wanted to know if he could come to see me. So I invited him to my house. Look at me. I'm 54 years. But I think our generation age better, so you won't know that I am that young. Besides, I'm too old for corner love. So I invited him over to my house. I liked the boy. So let's just call him Bobo for the sake of identifying him. And when I found out he was 34 years old, oh well. Okay, so I know I told you I never had a relationship with any man while I raised my children. I never did, but a few years back, I had a small thing with one 65-year-old chief. Then my last one was maybe 15 years or so. Yeah. I thought, well, body no be wood. But the chief was a mistake. You know, chief was a mistake. Anyway, Boba and I began to, see each other. I was not embarrassed by him. I would say I was self-conscious. I mean, this is Lagos where you see all kinds of things. And like I said before, if men can go out with younger girls, what is wrong with a woman going out with a younger man if there's mutual respect? Thankfully, he has a job. He's doing well. And he told me he had broken up with his girlfriend. He could be lying, you say. Okay, even so. What was I meant to do with the lies? I'm a good mother to my children. I have raised them well. If I choose to have an affair now, I don't think anybody should raise their nose at me. Anyway, I stopped seeing my menses sometime. In fact, when my friends and I were in Morocco, menopause was our main topic of discussion. We made fun of ourselves, you know. We were all in that age bracket where menopause had set in or is setting in. I had stopped seeing my menses a few months prior. And yes, I have the occasional hot flushes, but no dryness down there, no dryness there. I had long forgotten that I even had anything they use for sex. The last time I had sexual encounter was with Chief. Chief that couldn't get it up long enough to satisfy me or even himself. But anyway, let's continue with my story. So yeah, well, Bobo and I began to see regularly. He was fun. I had discovered I had something down there, I wasn't worried about pregnancy or disease because I told Baba I didn't want to have to deal with sexually transmitted disease. And he was such a darling. He went to get tested and showed me he was clean. So what did remain? Like I said, I didn't see my menses. I didn't know something had come upon me. I never got sick, like, pregnancy sick. All my symptoms were menopause symptoms, insomnia, hot flushes, feeling bloated. I thought I had fully come into menopause because, you see, even though I wasn't vomiting, which I did when I was pregnant for all my 3 kids, my mind never wandered to pregnancy at 54. Having not seen my menses for about 1 year or more, pregnancy wasn't on my list. Well, this is the one symptom that fooled me. At first, my friends put it down to menopause because I told a few of them. All my symptoms were checked and we all agreed it could be menopause. Then my clothes began to get a little snug, And foolishly, I put it down to me enjoying life, to me finally being in a relationship, being happy, gaining weight because I'd finally found love and a good guy, My mind was at rest. So I thought, okay, you're in a good place. That's why you're gaining a little bit of weight. Then some weeks later, I stood in front of my friend in a boutique trying on a new dress. She looked shocked and said, as if in a trance, she said, "Money, what you Huh? I looked at her, like in slow-mo. I immediately knew she was right. I was at that moment where my brain did a quick reset. That explained the nausea, not menopause. It explained the weight gain, not menopause. That explained my bulging stomach, not menopause. What wasn't explained, though, was my full breast, which I ignored. I'm pinned on menopause. Oh, Temi Bami. I couldn't laugh. In a matter of minutes, I told my friend to go with me to see a doctor. Well, what do you think? At this point, my children knew nothing about my relationship with Bobo. It's not their business, actually. But a child at my age? Nah. That's asking for trouble. This isn't about me worrying about money to care for a child. It's the care that worried me. I'm too old. I'm too done with childbearing to start with beginning. of a pregnancy at 54. The doctor told me I was too far gone to have it removed. Almost 5 months gone. Hey, see me say wahala. Can you imagine? What if the child has a congenital birth defect? What if the child is born with some form of deformity? I mean, I'm an adult having a child. I will relocate abroad though. I will relocate abroad. Well, that's the point. I knew I owed my children an explanation of sorts, It was in telling them about my situation that my first son suddenly asked me what and where I met Bobo and all of that. It turned out he was friends with Bobo. Not close friends, but a guy he knows, acknowledges, and, so they could call themselves friends of a friend. That's the kind of relationship they have. It happened that both of them had worked together when my son did his IT with the firm that Bobo used to work with. They had mutual friends. Over the next few days, they met at my house. Well, it was awkward at first, but my son, who is 28 years old, told me he supports me in whatever I want to do with the pregnancy. That's not my problem, to be honest. Yeah, I appreciate his love, but having a child at this age is not my priority. You see, I stopped all of that breastfeeding, rocking baby at night, and nursery stuff years back. I mean, my last one is in his second year in the university. He's 19 years old. There'll be a 20-year gap between my baby and his closest sibling. That is my worry. As for the father's baby, the silly boy is happy. He's happy I'm expecting his baby. But this will just change my life in ways I have no immediate plans for. But I still have 3 more months to go. So, yeah, that's where I'm at now. If you enjoyed the story, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.